Well, students, now we are going to start our chapter number 1 of 12th science, and that is reproduction in organism. That is our chapter number 1. See, this 4th chapter, this unit is actually regarding to the reproduction. Chapter 1 is reproduction in organism. Now chapter 2 will be the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Chapter number 3 is human reproduction, and chapter number 4 is reproductive health. Now, particularly, if we are talking about the lifespan of the organism is concerned, you know, particular organisms can alive for a particular period of time, certain period of time. Now, that particular period of time is from the birth to the natural death of the organism. That is called a what? That is called a lifespan. Okay? Birth from birth to the natural death. The certain period of time from birth to the natural death, that is called a lifespan. See, in your textbook, in the next page, there is on the diagram, some of the lifespan has been given, some of them is to be filled up by you. Like you see, first of all, elephant. According to some reference book, I can tell you, it is given, that is 75 years. Then rose, that is 10 years. Then dog, that is 25 years. Thereafter butterfly is given, that is 1 to 2 weeks. That is the lifespan of butterfly. Crow, it is also given in your text, that is 15 years. Now, banana tree. Banana tree is concerned, it is 25 years. Okay, then after cow, that is 25 years. Then after parrot, $140 years. Then after we can say crocodile. As far as crocodile is concerned, what is given in your text, that is 60 years. Then after horse, that is 50 years. After horse there is a fruit fly, that is 1 month. Rice plant, 4 months. Then after tortoise, 100 to 150 years. And then after banyan tree, 500 to 500 years. See, these are the lifespan of certain some of the plants and animals. Okay, and according to a particular reference book, it is this particular number has been given. It's possible that તમને જુદા જુદા મોડ્યુલ્સ ને બધું લ્યો ને તો એની અંદર તમને જુદું જુદા આવે, but from standard reference book I have taken this lifespan, and that is why we can say it's a perfect one. Okay, the question can be asked according to this. Now we can arrange in descending or ascending orders. Like you see, we can give the number of it, The highest one is banyan tree. Now second one is tortoise. Now third one is parrot. Then fourth one is elephant. Then fifth one is crocodile. Sixth one is horse. Then after seventh, that is doggy. Then banana tree is also 7. Cow is also 7, 25. Then 8th number is 15 years crow. Now 9th number is rose, isn't it? Then 10th number is rice plant. Then after 11th number is fruit fly. And last but not least, butterfly is number 12. That is the descending orders as far as lifespan is concerned. Now, it is also mentioned in your introduction of this chapter is that size is not depend upon the lifespan is not depend upon the size of the organism. Like you see, as far as parrot or crow is concerned, both size is almost similar, right? But you know that lifespan of the crow is just 15 years, but parrot is 140 years. Whether it is plants or animals, whether it is we can say only animals or only plants, there is differ, right? Its lifespan has been differs. It depends upon the environmental conditions and other aspects is concerned, and that is why the natural death is occurs. None of the organism is immortal except unicellular. You will think that what is the meaning of that particular line which is given in your introduction, that except the unicellular organism, like amoeba and paramecium kind of organism is concerned, these organisms particularly is responsible for the, as far as reproduction is concerned, one cell is divided into two, so their existence will be converted into two organisms. That is why it is called immortal. Okay? જે one cell હતા એના જેવા જ બીજા 2 સેલ બની જાય છે. So that is why એનું ડેથ ના થાય, ડેથ થવાને બદલે એનું કન્વર્ઝન થાય. બરાબર છે? That is why except unicellular organisms, all the organisms is undergoes the death situation. Okay? That is why. Now, if we are talking about reproduction is concerned, it is, what is reproduction? Reproduction is such a phenomenon that the individual is capable by producing offspring. It is called as what? That is called as reproduction. Okay? And because of reproduction, the individuals will produce the offspring which is identical or similar to their parents, and that is called a heredity and variations. This heredity and variations we will go through into the chapter number 5. What is heredity? What is variations? Okay, that will we go through in chapter number 5. But if we are talking about the reproduction is concerned, reproduction is depends upon which factors? That depends upon particularly, first of all, habitat. In which habitat they are alive. This depends, they can reproduce. Like if it is in terrestrial habitat, if they are living in aquatic habitat, or if they are amphibians, it depends upon the first of all habitat. Then second is the internal morphology, internal physiology, like the respiration, the digestion, the exercise. These are the internal physiology. And according to his internal physiology is concerned, they can able to reproduce. Okay, and some other factors like some environmental factors has also effect onto the reproduction is. Now we can classify the reproduction in two, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. You see, what is the meaning of, we can say, sexual or asexual reproduction is, I will give you the, we can say, definition of both of this. First of all, I can tell you, if two sexual reproduction, if two cells of two individuals come together and form a new offspring, that is called as what? Sexual reproduction. Again I will repeat, two individuals or two cells, if they will produce what? If they will produce and come together and produce two offspring, that is called a sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction means what? Just one cell or one individual, just one cell or one individual, they will produce a new offspring. That is called what? That is called, we can say, asexual reproduction. As far as asexual reproduction is concerned, whatever the progeny is there, they are morphologically as well as genetically similar to their parents. In the asexual reproduction, what happened? Their progeny, their offspring is morphologically as well as genetically, they are very much similar to their parents. And in that case, what happened? In that case, it is called a clone. Okay? It is called a clone. The term clone is used. Why? Because of asexual reproduction, whatever the offspring is produced morphologically, means external gene characteristics and genetical structure, both are similar according to its parents. And that is called what? That is called asexual reproduction, and that term is used, it is called a clone. Now, particularly as far as asexual reproduction is concerned, you have to go through some different kind of asexual reproductions. Suppose if you will go through the definition of asexual reproduction, a single individual or cells, we can say, is capable of producing offspring which is morphologically and genetically similar with their parents. That is called as asexual reproduction, and particular term is used that is called as clone. That is called as what? Clone. Okay, that is the definition of asexual reproduction. Now, as far as asexual reproduction is concerned, we have to go through some phenomenon of the asexual reproduction is, first of all, we will go through cell division in protista and monoras. In the protista and monora, what happened? The cell division is taken place. You know, generally protistans and moneras are unicellular, so that is why one cell is divided into two or more. That is why mitotic division is taken place, and through the cell division it will be produced the new cells or new offspring, and that is happened in protistas and moneras. Now binary fission, you see, binary fission. Particularly in amoeba and paramecium. Amoeba and paramecium, it is generally found. હું તમને diagrammatically explanation આપું છું. Suppose if there is amoeba is there, and that is the nucleus of it, right? Now what happened? First of all, nucleus division will not be taken place. Okay, first of all, nucleus division will not be taken place. But cytoplasmic division will not take place, but nucleus division is there. You can see that cytoplasmic division surrounding parties remain same, but the nucleus is divided, start to divide. Ultimately what happened? Particularly then after the nucleus division, the cytoplasmic division will be start, and ultimately this amoeba has divided into two amoeba. This young amoeba is produced by that. You see, this entire process is called what? Binary fission. Because one organism is produced the new two organisms, and that is called what? That is called a binary fission. See, multiple fission is not given in your text, but we will go through it. They say multiple fission. Amoeba and paramecium, even in the plasmodium it has happened. Now what happened? You see, suppose it's amoeba, and as far as its nucleus is concerned, it's divided so many times, and in that case what happened? Means initially even there is no cytoplasmic division has been taken place, okay? Only nucleus division is there. Now the number of nuclei will be produced. You see, number of nuclei is there. And this number of nuclei, when the cytoplasmic division has been taken place, like this. Some of the cytoplasm which is surrounded there, and the minute progeny, unicellular and uninucleate progeny will be produced, and then after what happened? The surrounding cover has been ruptured. And as a result of this progeny is minute amoebas, we can say, which will be released from it. That is called what? Multiple fission. See, binary fission is just one cell is divided into two, that is called a binary fission. But if we are talking about multiple fission, is one cell is divided into many, that is multiple fission. Amoeba, paramecium, plasmodium, all of this is undergo such kind of multiple fission. Okay, now we have to go through cyst or incystation. Cyst or incystation. જુઓ આમાં જેટલા હું ડાયાગ્રામ ડ્રો કરાવું છું, એક્સપ્લેન કરાવું છું, એ તમારે તમારા ટેક્સ્ટ બુકમાં જે પેજ તમે એન્ક્લોઝ કરેલા છે, બરાબર છે, એમાં એ ડ્રો કરવાના છે. તમે વિડીયો પોઝ કરી અને પછી યુ કેન ડ્રો ધ ઓલ ઓફ ધીસ ડાયાગ્રામ, ઓકે, ઇન અ પર્ટિક્યુલર સિક્વન્સ મેનર. ઓકે, કેમ કે જો આપણા લાઈવ ક્લાસીસ હોય તો મેં તમને ડ્રો કરવા માટે ટાઈમ આપ્યો જ હોય. સો દેટ ઇઝ વાય યુ હેવ ટુ ગો થ્રુ ઇટ. ઓકે, નાઉ કેમ કે આમાં આ જે ચેપ્ટર્સ છે એમાં ડાયાગ્રામ્સ બહુ આવશે. નંબર ઓફ ડાયાગ્રામ વિલ બી ધેર and each and every diagram which I have drew onto the board that you have to go through. So don't miss it, you have to draw. કેમ કે જો તમે ડાયાગ્રામ ડ્રો નહીં કરો તો તમને એના જે કોન્સેપ્ટ છે એ વીક રહી જશે. સો દેટ ઇઝ વાય ઇટ ઇઝ કમ્પલસરી ટુ ડ્રો ઓલ ઓફ ધીસ ડાયાગ્રામ્સ. ઓકે, સો બી અવેર વિથ ધીસ that we have to go through it. Then after cyst formation or incystation. Incystation. Now it's happened in amoeba, paramecium, and sometimes even in plasmodium. Now, you know, initially amoeba is like this, but in this process what happened, they will disappear their surrounding pseudopodia, okay, and the triple layer એના જે pseudopodia એને disappear કરી and they will form a thick triple layer outer covering, that is called a cyst. બરાબર છે. pseudopodia is now converted into the triple layer cover, that is called what? Cyst. And whatever the nucleus is there, that nucleus is divided by multiple fission. હમણાં આપણે ડિસ્કસ કર્યું multiple fission, right? Now in that case what happened? The next step is number of nuclei is produced. તો બધા ડાયાગ્રામ ટેક્સ્ટ બુકમાં ના આપ્યા હોય, બટ તમને એનાથી સમજાય. Multiple fission is happening. Initially there is no cytoplasmic division has been taken place, but then after, particularly generally this incystation is taken place in unfavorable condition. When the unfavorable condition is there, in that case what happened? It is happened. But when there is a favorable condition, they will produce the offspring. Now you see, nucleus division was there. Now cytoplasmic division has been taken place. When the cytoplasmic division is taken place, the unicellular and uninucleated structure has been produced, and that is called what? That is called a minute amoeba or pseudopodiospores. That is called a what? Pseudopodiospores. Now the cyst will be ruptured from here and they will release this minute amoeba or pseudopodiospores. And this entire process is called what? Incystation. This entire process is called what? Incystation. Okay? And Another term is used, that is sporulation. Incestation or sporulation. Because at the end of it, pseudopodia is produced and ultimately in the favorable condition is released it. Okay, so that is incestation or sporulations. Then after I can tell you, we can say buds. As far as bud formation is concerned, in yeast as well as hydra, okay, you already come across with the yeast budding in the high school section also, that one cell, there is another cell is produced, and then after it's separated from the parental one and exists as a new organisms, right? So that is the budding. Now if we are talking budding in hydra is concerned, like you see, budding in hydra, so such an organism is called a hydra. Okay, now some of the cell mass which occurs on the surface of it, and that is called an external bud, or only bud we can say. External bud. And then after what happened? Later on it's separated from the parental one and exists as a separate organisms. And that is called as what? External budding. In hydra. Now, particularly internal budding, it is called a gemmules. It is called a what? Gemmules. The textbook diagram has been given over there. It is like this. It's a spicules which is available into the sponge. Then generally what happens? Fresh water or marine water sponge undergoes such kind of sexual reproduction is concerned. Now that is the body cavity of it, and the internal buds is created over here, and that is called internal bud or gemmules. Another term is used it is called a gemmules. Okay, so that is actually external bud in hydra and internal bud in gemmules, or is in spongilla or the cycon, right? Fresh water or marine water kind of organisms it has happened. So that is the two, external budding as well as internal budding, right? It is given in on that board. Then after, you see, the asexual spores is formed. That we have to go through asexual spores for the asexual reproduction. Okay? Asexual spores or asexual reproduction is concerned, you see, if it is non-motile, it is called as what? Conidia, and the example is penicillium. If asexual spores is motile, that is called as what? Zoospores. And as far as zoospore is concerned, generally in algae and fungi. Such kind of zoospores can be. Like you see in your textbook it is given, it is like this in the penicillium. And that is conidia of penicillium. It is called a conidiophore. જેની ઉપર છે એ conidiophore કહેવાય અને આ બધા conidia કહેવાય. They are non-motile spores that will be detached from the parental plants and then they will produce the new offspring. Okay, so such kind of we can say buddings, then conidia, then zoospores. These are the asexual reproductive organs is there. Now I have to go through the vegetative propagules is concerned. You know, in the plants, if the asexual reproduction is taken place, that is called what? That is called a vegetative propagation. You remember that chapter number 5th or of your 11th, right? Morphology of the flowering plants. There is different kind of modifications for the vegetative reproduction, right? Root modification, stem modification, leaf modification is there for the vegetative reproduction. We can say we will revise it because already there, that is we have discussed in the 11th curriculum, but even though we will repeat it, and whatever the diagram which is given in your text, that's even we will go through. Okay, so that is vegetative propagation or vegetative propagules. Asexual reproduction in plants, that is called what? Propagation or propagules. Reproduction is actually propagation, and whatever the organ which is involved in it, that is called what? Propagules. Okay, now particularly you see this as far as first of all we will go through the potato eyes of potato. You know that potato, there is a patches is there, and over there is a scaly leaves is occurs in it, and that particular kind of scaly leaves, it is called a potato eye. That structure is. Now if we'll grow it into the soil, particularly if we grow it into the soil, from the exile of the scaly leaves, the underground branches is occurs like this, and the tip of this underground branches, that will be stored the food and converted into the oval or spherical shape structure, and that is called what? Tuber, potato tuber. And that potato tubers, we can say from eye this potato tuber is occurs. Now that is exists as a potato, so that is why it is called what? Vegetative propagules, like potato eye in the potato. Okay, so that is why eye in potato, that is the first one. Now rhizome in ginger. Now you see the diagram of it. You see, whatever the lining is there, that is nodes. Now the area between two consecutive nodes, that is called what? Internodes. Area between these two consecutive nodes is internodes. See, these are the scaly leaves. That is called as scaly leaves. Okay. You see, it's a node. Scaly leaves. Root, but it is adventitious root. And such kind of happen in ginger as well as mango ginger. Okay. See, it's a underground stem which is stored the food. But there is a nodes, internodes, and adventitious root is also occurs on it, as well as scaly leaves is there. And the part of these nodes and internodes, what happened? The buds will be occurs, and this bud is generate the total new plants. That is why in the ginger, rhizome is a particular structure which is responsible for the vegetative reproductions. Okay. Now, bulbil in agave. Now, agave એટલે આપણે જેને રામબાણ કે કેતકી એવું કહેવાય છે ગુજરાતીમાં, right? See, the apical bud of this agave is converted into the floral bud. Now that floral bud particularly is stored the food. Okay, when you store the food, that is called as what? Bulbil. Now, after some times, means after થોડા સમય પછી that will be detached, કરી જશે from the plants, and when it's come into contact with the soil, it's produced the new plant, and that is why it is called the vegetative propagules into the agave. Okay. Thereafter, as far as leaf bud of Bryophyllum, leaf bud of Bryophyllum, પાન ફૂટી જેને કહેવાય છે બ્રાયોફાઇલમ મીન્સ. See, actually on the margin of the leaf, the buds is occur. That is called a leaf bud. Okay, and where this leaf bud is occurs, from the bottom of this leaf bud, the adventitious root has been occurs. પછી શું હોય કે આ પ્લાન્ટની બહુ હાઇટ ના હોય, બરાબર છે, સમવેર અરાઉન્ડ મોર દેન 6-7 ઇંચ જેટલી માંડ હાઇટ હોય. So then leaf length is also somewhere around like this. And એટલે શું થાય કે when the weight of this particular leaf is increased, it's come into the contact with the soil, and that roots will be penetrate into the soil and form a new plant. That is why it is called a vegetative reproductions to the leaf bud. Okay. Then you see runner, offset and stolon, right? એ તમને મેં આગળ કરાવેલું છે, એ બધું I will go through it. Runner, offset and stolon. That is the vegetative propagules of the different kind of plants. Okay, runner, offset and stolon. As far as runner is concerned, in the grass what happened? They will produce the long, thin aerial branches from its underground parts. When the nodes of these particular plants is come into contact with the soil, they will produce the new plant. That is called as runner. And this runner is generally found in grass, right? Oxalis, etc. Then after offset, in the aquatic plant like Eichhornia crassifis or water hyacinth, તમે યુટ્રોફિકેશનમાં એન્વાયરમેન્ટલ ઇશ્યુઝનું જે ચેપ્ટર હતું એની અંદર આપણે આની વાત કરી હતી. ઓકે, ગાંડી વેલ જેને આપણે કહીએ છીએ એની વાત કરી હતી. સો દેટ ઇઝ વી કેન સી it's an aquatic plant, generally occurs on the surface of the aquatic or water. These are the water. Now what happened? Particularly, see, in the runner what happened? Thin and long internode branch, but and occurs just parallel to the land habitat. Okay, land surface, but it's an aquatic one. And this thick and short internode branch is occurs, which is spread over the water surface. And again they will produce the new plant. And such kind of structure is called as what? Offset. In water hyacinth, or Eichhornia, kind of plant is there. That's why we can say it's an aquatic weed which is spread over the entire aquatic habitat. Then after we can say stolon, like in strawberry as well as in the fern. What happened? From its underground stem, the branch which is occur, and it occurs like a curve, and again is come into contact with the soil and form a new branch, and that is called what? Stolon. Fern as well as strawberry, right? And other example will be there. So these all are the examples of vegetative propagules. Okay, grass, oxalis, rana, offset, water hyacinth, Eichhornia crassifis, ferns is strawberry, stolon. And then after we can say particularly tuber or bulb is concerned, it is the different kind of vegetative propagules. Okay, now in next lecture we will go through the sexual reproduction, right? That is the description regarding to asexual reproduction. Chapter with page number 8 onwards we will discuss in the next lecture. Okay, have a nice day.